What's up, delightful humans? I'm Shannon Townsend.
And I'm Richard Townsend of the Married Marks podcast.
And you are listening to Scheduled for One Fall.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 47 alongside Val. This month, we know it's a very special month. It's Black History Month. So, I had to get a black guest on the show. And, he's not quite Kofi. He's not Kofi Tuesday, but they both can friends. Give it up for my homie, Shaggy. Black. How you doing, man?
I suck at math. What are you talking about right now?
Yeah.
And then, but no, thanks. Yeah, it's happy to be here. I was avoiding you like the plague until I got
because you had the plague
exactly.
though. That's
exactly.
I mean, you're in the clear in my book as far as I'm concerned, dude. You're fine.
We're all good. We're all good.
Yeah. So
celebrating the Black History Month. That hadn't been the best Black History Month.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Boy.
Yeah, it's been rough for us, but you know what? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. And you know, like I said, you know, it was wrapping up, and we've had some amazing guests on the show. But you know, I can't be the only black guy that like wrestling. Sometime I need somebody else too. You know.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that Shaggy and I actually met before Patrick and I met, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That's the funny thing. When and to add to your story, Val, when he told me he was doing the show with you, I was like, dog, I know her. He's like, what? I was like, ask her about me, dude.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's a fucking small world. I said, dude, we were fucking at goddamn
Midnight After Mania.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wrestle Circus, man. Rest in peace, Wrestle Circus.
R.I.P.
That shit is. We were there and we were fucking enjoying shit, and that's how I realized I'm at the same height as like 2/3 of the wrestlers there. So yeah.
And I'm taller than 2/3 of wrestlers, so there's that.
Hilarious. Everything.
But yeah, I think we met because I feel like I was wearing my Sandman shirt, and that's how you and I started talking.
Yeah, was it your Sandman shirt? It was something it was definitely a shirt you were wearing. But I thought it was your no. It was your tattoos. You had a Star Wars tattoo.
Well, I have 2 Star Wars tattoos, but yeah. I thought it was my Sandman shirt. That's how I met so many people that year at Mania. They were like, blood, sweat, and tears. Holy shit. How much did it cost you on eBay? And I was like $0 about it in the suburbs of Chicago when I saw ECW.
Exactly.
At the Odeum.
Val knows everybody. I'm telling you. Yep. I told her we got to make a shirt. Val knows everybody, and trust me, it's sell out. And we'll be having sales from people all the way from Sweden. I'm telling you. I already know.
But hey, so people, you know, I know you and Patrick knows you, and you know, last week we had Eye Candy Elliott, then we had Tony Deppen, we had Matt Nix, we've had Andy Long. And so people might not know you first bat, you know, like they might not be like, oh yeah, Shaggy 2 Black, but tell people a little bit about yourself and kind of how you got into wrestling and that sort of thing. Because we generally spend like the first half hour of the show now talking to people about their wrestling career. So how did you get into wrestling and that sort of thing for you? Because we met at a weird movie theater that was having a show at like 1 a.m. So I knew you were down with wrestling because we were at this weird show that nobody knew about.
There.
But
it was like no one knew about until like people just started magically show up, and then it's like everybody's just walking around with other wrestlers, and I'm like, holy shit, this is where like they're literally putting the fucking like ring smack dab in the middle of the fucking floor, right next to the bar, and I'm like, hey, all right, shit, this is my scene. But no, I'm so first off, I known Val, met you through that Wrestle Circus night, Midnight After Mania in Orlando. Pat, I've known since 2013.
Yeah, I think it was 2013. Yeah.
Yeah, 2013. Me and him have been like, we followed each other through Twitter, and I want to say Pat followed me because we both had similar, interesting. We fucking love wrestling. That was
Yeah,
pretty much
Mm.
it.
pretty much. Yeah.
So, so you're the other black guy that loves wrestling because he always says, "I want to make a
Exactly.
shirt that says I'm just a black guy that loves wrestling." So you'd be the other
To be
person to buy
to be
it.
fair, to you, and to be honest, I've actually probably loved wrestling more than Pat does.
Yeah, he
See,
does.
Ooh.
Look,
he has just become with the neckbeard
yeah,
status, while I have fucking lived in it, was born by it.
yeah,
Bro,
like yeah. Shaggy's
I
definitely he got me beat. I'm just like I said, I'm just trying to get in the game. Shaggy's like already like a 10-year vet on this shit. So
yeah, it's I got started in wrestling just how any kid gets started in anything. Parents neglect him by putting him in front of a television. Um, but my mom literally tells that's not what actually happened. My mom literally tells a story like Ashton fell in love with Shaggy fell in love with put my shoot name out there. He fell in love with wrestling when he was 2 years old. He was crying or something, and we just put him down on the like next on the couch, and I don't know. I think Superstars was on, and I was just watching that, and I was quiet. Since then, you could not get me to stop watching wrestling to the point, embarrassing story, when I was probably 12 or 13. Um, I know it was WrestleMania 10.
hmm.
I was actually trying to watch WrestleMania 10.
Hmm.
And but the thing is, pay-per-view back then, you had the fucking bunny ears or some shit. You
Yeah.
couldn't get, you had to fucking like find that illegal channel that would just come through. So
Hmm.
legitimately, I would go back and I was like, "Yo, WrestleMania 10. I'm gonna go fuck." I'm fucking watching that, and I'm watching Brett and Owen. My dad thought I was watching porn. So
Oh man.
he thought I was watching porn. He was like, "What are you doing in here?" I was like, it's like, "Oh my god!" And he just saw like, but he heard the wrestling and stuff in the background. That's when he started to kind of get into that. Is okay. I know he loves wrestling, so maybe we should start taking him to shows and stuff, or help him do that. I think I was younger than 13. I want to say when that was happening. However, I live in Jacksonville, Florida, not too like pretty much Florida, the fucking hotbed, the new hotbed in wrestling, especially with the new AEW home base from there, which I'm fucking excited about. But
Yeah, I bet.
yeah, oh fuck, man, I was there at the rally looking like a fucking dork. I'm pretty sure if you look at those old rally videos in Jacksonville, you probably see my black ass
Yeah,
face
you don't. Yeah,
smack
I saw
dab
your
in the middle
black ass. Yep.
for about like 5 seconds, and it was it. I was like, yeah, I got my time, y'all. That was it. But no, and after that, but when it came to wrestling, period, like of course you had WCW, WWF, and now WWE. It's kind of figuring like which one were you on the sides. Whereas the funny thing is, born and raised in the South, I was a fan of WWF more than I was WCW. And
Hmm.
then like it was weird because there's like, oh, you should have this because they're always down here. But I was like, I was captivated by the shit that I saw first. It was never
Right.
WCW. It was WWF. So I just went with that. And then but then I started doing what everybody does, switching
Hmm.
between both channels, like trying to time it right as one went on a commercial, flipped on the other one right as the one flipped off, timed it unless it was a really good match, and flipped back and try to catch everything off. So it was kind of like that. And then back then, though, when someone was shooting a promo, I would shoot over to the other channel to see if there's any matches going on, and vice versa. But when it comes to independent wrestling, that I'm gonna say started with obviously ECW,
Hell yeah.
watching it at 2 a.m.
Hmm.
on Saturday nights, uh, watching it and trying to sneak, and then like watching, and then of course TNN got it, and then it started to come on like Friday nights at 8, so I started watching it there, and I loved that because it was a different style.
Right.
But then when ECW got and WCW got bought out by WWE, I was kind of like, okay, what am I gonna watch now? That's when I started to get into. That's when a buddy of mine put me on, and I'll never forget him for this. Dude, my name was James Janiga. My man's put me on PWG, like early PWG, like back when fucking Kevin Steen was Mr. Wrestling, and he
Oh,
had his
no way.
fucking fights with goddamn Super Dragon.
Yeah.
and like nonstop brawls. You had he showed me when Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, Eddie Guerrero had their triple threat. This was like
Okay.
when Eddie Guerrero, what's up?
But for 1 second,
Yeah.
you can back me up on this. People are like, how do you not like Kevin Owens as a wrestler? How do you not like him as a wrestler? I'm like, because I loved him back in the day when he was brutal and he was intense and he was awesome. He's great on a mic, but I think in the ring right now, little soft. You know what I mean?
He has to with him because it's a WWE style.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't with his type of work ethic and everything else. He can't bring that over. That the limit
Right.
his moveset and everything else. So he kind of finding his way. I do like
To
that
like
he kind
four
of kept
moves.
the attitude. Yeah, he kind of it's 4 moves, and he can do more than that. So he's like handicapping himself. But I'm
that's
not
why
gonna
I
lie to
don't.
you.
That's why I'm not a fan. You know.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. Anytime he pulls out one of his other moves that I know he's done back in the day, I geek out a little bit because it's
Same.
special. So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying with that because it's a disappointment, but at the same time, it's like, especially for instance, I'm guessing we all saw halftime heat when Adam
Mhm.
Cole bust out the fucking the Panama City Sunrise. He I legitimately geeked the fuck out. He was teasing it the entire fucking week, and then he hit it, and I'm like, what? I'm like fucking freaking out. It was like I was just a kid again, like yeah. But it was like fucking legitimately like it was legitimately like, yo, he's done this move a million times. What makes it so different? It's like because I'm not just the only person to see it; millions of other people are seeing it.
Right.
So I get it, but like I said, watching PWG and getting hip to like, and then Ring of Honor, getting hip to like Samoa Joe, getting hip with like Super Dragon, you getting like with SEMA, everything. I just kind of grew up into that, and then I was like, yo, I trans. That's when I looked for other independent acts, and this is where I've been trying to get Pat to do for fucking years.
Yep,
I
that's
started
true.
signing up. That's right when I fucking discovered Progress. I
Yeah.
fell in love with Progress Wrestling up until that point.
Prog-
The whole Jimmy fucking with the
Jimmy Havoc.
Jimmy Havoc, like that was the
Yeah.
first fucking. I said, yo, watch this shit. This is like fucking Vince. This is fucking Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold Steve Austin reversed on fucking steroids.
Absolutely.
That was one of my favorite fucking storylines. And I when back to where storylines weren't even the greatest shit coming up now. Storylines don't play a lot because everybody's into the wrestling. And that's why I figure a lot of fans now, like older fans, fell out with it because they were never there for the wrestling. They don't care about the
Yeah.
fucking moves. They want to see
The male
goddamn.
soap
They
opera.
want to. They want the male soap opera. It was like, yo, why is this dude so interesting? Like they want fucking people like that back then, and people love the Attitude Era. But I'm gonna be real with you, the Attitude Era
It
is
stunk.
it's drizzling shits when it came to
It
wrestling.
stunk.
What made the Attitude Era great? The goddamn storylines.
Well, yeah. I would say the majority of it, yes. But I mean, I got a lot of beefs with the Attitude Era for a lot of reasons. But
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Fuck
but
Jerry
here
King Lawler. Fuck him. But go ahead.
times 1,000. But then here's me
Yeah.
drinking out of my Stone Cold Steve Austin drink shaker. So you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Exactly. We all have our fucking favorites. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say recently as speaking of which, like a nice little transition, there's a recent group that got inducted to the Hall of Fame that did a
Mhm.
certain skit that was racist as hell.
Oh yeah, it was
But
racist as hell. But
it
I
was
let it
racist as
go.
hell. But I swear to God, I will be crying. I laugh every time I see it. So I
Yeah,
can't even fucking sit here and play
that's
that
true.
goddamn game. Like, oh, this was terrible. And I'm sitting there keying on the side like he said shit on TV. That's
Yeah.
kind of what like that's like I'm not gonna sit there and bullshit you. But yeah, wrestling, it's been a beautiful thing with the transition. And one of my things that I love about wrestling now, I love sharing that shit with people who don't know about it or who are interested, who's like interested in it, and they're kind of like, yo, like when I told Pat about Progress, I was like, yo,
Yeah.
watch this shit, dog. This shit's great. Obviously, he didn't fucking he put it off, but that's fine.
Stop, relax. That's where I discovered
Mhm,
Will Ospreay and Jimmy Havoc through Progress.
mhm,
All right, I may have
mhm.
watched one episode, but that one episode I was like, damn, I'm fucking with Will Ospreay and Jimmy Havoc.
And a lot of these fucking dudes. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite fucking wrestlers, and he knows who he is. I'm wearing his fucking shirt right now. Tommy End, aka
Yeah.
Yep.
Aleister Black.
Aleister Black.
Goddamn in the fucking Sumerian Death Squad. I fucking watched that tag team, all about that, and it was like it's just. But I love sharing that with other people, like my friends. loved ones, anything else like that. It's just now because it's gonna be harder. Like, yo, this wrestler. Because even then, like, I got a girl now, and she's like, yo, she'll sit here and watch wrestling with me, but she's a Jericho fan and everything else. But I'm like, yo, see how interesting this is when it comes to this stuff. When it comes to watching the last pay-per-view with me, and she just got into it again, and I'm like, I like that experience. I'm not trying to be better or I say I know something or I know this person. Now I can't be a little fucking wrestling hipster.
Yeah, but
But
you're not
at
a
this,
smart at all.
no,
Like you can
fuck
mark
no,
out, absolutely you mark out, but you're not like a smarky mark. Like
nah,
you're not trying to prove like how old school cred you are. You are inviting this group of people into this version of your
yeah.
world, which I
I
think is
don't
really
fucking,
rad.
yeah. I don't fucking gatekeep. Not with this, not with something that I would love to fucking show. Like, yo, here's this fucking wrestler. Look at this shit. Like, this girl, like fucking Velveteen Dream, like fucking
Mm-hmm.
Will Ospreay, like Kenny Omega, like the Bucks, like shit. I'm gonna throw some off the wall name, like Mark Haskin, like
Hmm.
Juice Robinson, and other fucking names. Like, just go out and watch. I'm like, look at these guys and fucking tell me
Like
shit is
Space
shit, but
Monkey.
Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. Space Monkey.
Space
He's
Monkey.
he's my guy.
Hey man, respect to the Space Monkey. All right, like respect to
Yeah,
the Space Monkey. But I get it though. Like it's not gonna be for everyone, but for ones who actually want to, I'll be more than happy to share that. And my love of wrestling, no matter how fucking ridiculous, no matter how annoying the goddamn fans be, I'm never going to stop loving it.
agreed.
Yeah, but
So, do we want to talk about somebody who has stopped loving the WWE, or maybe not so much, but just decided that his time with them are done? Can we
yeah.
discuss the no longer perfect 10 that is Ty Dillinger? He
Hmm.
has
Nice segue.
recently, yeah, he has recently asked for his release from the WWE on his birthday of all days. We don't know if it's been granted yet because they're kind of putting a death. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of putting a death grip on all wrestlers and associates that are asking for their release because, that AE dub is right around the corner. And
Yeah.
especially Cody and Ty used to train together back in the OVW days. And he immediately tweeted, like, congratulations and good luck and, blah, blah, blah. And the other thing that I thought was interesting, not to be all TMZ about it, but Peyton Royce and Ty Dillinger have kind of been an item for a couple of years now.
Mm.
And she tweeted, like, happy birthday to the love of my life. Looked like she had a big old engagement rock on her finger. So best of luck to Ty Dillinger.
Yeah.
Although on Wrestle Talk, they did throw some joke out there that I thought was pretty good, that he just couldn't sell it. He couldn't wait until 3 other wrestlers had asked for their release because he is number 7 to have asked for his release as opposed to number 10.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
That's funny. And I'm putting it like this, I wish him the best. He had no choice but to do this. They wasn't going to do anything with his character. He's 38 right now. Not to say that that's old, but it is kind of old.
yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm not saying
To
it's
be
old.
fair, he has been there for a long,
For a long time.
ass time. If
Like
not forget,
06?
this motherfucker was Stan.
Yeah.
Super kicked by Shawn Michaels.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, that was a
Like,
classic skit.
yep, classic skit. He's been there for a while, and he's been a WWE guy through and through. But now he's like, okay, I've probably gone as far as I can go here. Let me
Right.
go else. Let me go elsewhere. It's not
And
like. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, and I absolutely don't blame him because you're 100% right. He's been super kicked in the face by a legend and still, like, 11, 12 years later, I can't even remember, 15. It's been a long time because
Yeah.
he
This dude has seen people come and go, and stayed.
yeah, and stayed faithful and, like, legit kept pushing his own gimmick, but not trying to get into business for himself, like everything that you would think WWE would want him to do. He had a couple of bad injuries this past year, so that didn't help. And, it just, WWE decides who they want to push and who they don't. And unfortunately, supposedly, the reason why they didn't want to push him is because of the crowd reaction to the 10 thing, that they would do it in every other match. So they were trying to kill that shtick. They were trying to kill that gimmick because it was annoying to have it every single match, which I agree, but that doesn't mean kill a guy's career, you know?
Yeah. I feel like, the same exact thing that he's going through is the same thing that Rusev is going through right now. Like him kind of venting his frustrations on these podcasts, which I don't know if he's going to be in a doghouse about or not, but yeah, it's kind of similar. And once again, like I said, I just hope that he's going to land somewhere. He got a couple of years left where he can do something, and don't be a sellout and take that backstage job at WWE. That's don't become a producer, But yeah, he's been around for a long. He's been around so long. He got super kicked by Shawn Michaels when he could see out of both his eyes, and it wasn't crossed.
And he had hair.
And he had hair. So, that's crazy that he, that he's been there for so long and finally kind of reached to a point where he was about to get over it, and nope, let me take you off air and let's have you argue with R-Truth for about 4 months, a month or two. And
I think
then
wasn't he rehabbing
Yeah.
around that time though? Like he was off.
Yeah, he was.
Because he wasn't wrestling, so they was kind of like, okay, we got nothing. It was one of those situations where WWE's like, we got nothing for you, and with him, he said, I can see the writing on the wall. You're gonna be there's gonna be NXT people coming up. I'm definitely not gonna have a spot. Let me get out. Let me get out of here. It's not like how the Revival. Not saying that any of these guys saying, yo, we want to be released from our contracts. Because honestly, I'm gonna be honest, and honestly, I don't think anybody wants to be released from their contract like that, especially if they're not happy. I mean, I can understand the ones that want, but they can also use it as leverage. Because there's somebody else out there.
That's exactly what I think happened with the Revival, because they went from being basically jobbers McGee to all of a sudden now they're the tag team champions. And it's interesting because, remember when we were doing our little predictions for Elimination Chamber, Patrick? And we were all like, there's no way that they're going to get those belts. And then look what happened to the Usos. The Usos are now the six-time WWE tag team champions. And their dad, Rikishi, is putting some stink face out there and saying, kind of dropping, are they going to be the next ones to say that they're out of here with WWE? Because they've, there's nothing else that they have to prove. That's kind of interesting that their dad, who is a Hall of Famer.
If their relationship, let's take away the Total Divas shit and the Hall of Fame shit. It's been kind of documented that they really didn't have Rikishi wasn't really around for them, so their relationship is a little rocky. So I mean, it could be anything, but the Samoans, they do whatever the fuck they want, and they say whatever the fuck they want, and there will be no consequence to whatever is being said. So I would love to see Usos leave. They're still young. Fuck it, go to New Japan.
Hell yeah.
Like shit, they'll kill it.
Don't forget that their contract is set to expire this year, so in a couple months, I believe.
Yeah, I mean they're like, see, it's better to have your contract expire. Unlike like I said, Bible, their contract is not going to expire for a long time. So they had to do something. But like dudes who actually don't have their contracts expiring, they're like, we literally have leverage here, but we also can be like, yo, they're not gonna play us, so we can get out of here. The Usos, I'm thinking once again, they're company people. They don't have to leave. They can literally stay there because they have no issues. They always know when tag teams are gonna be put up front, especially going with the bullshit they went through.
There's issues.
The top spot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the bullshit they went through to get up where they're at. They're the premier tag teams there. I mean, when you think of tag teams, you're literally thinking of like the New Day, the Usos, LeBar, and then
Ms. Man, hello. Just kidding.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Those are the three tag teams you think of WWE wise. You don't think of any other tag team outside of NXT. When you're thinking of the main roster. So they're not, me personally, they would never leave unless it got to the point, especially and with Naomi, who knows if her contract's ending. They're not gonna. He's not gonna want to leave his wife. So there's
Yeah.
not. So
Right.
Jay's not gonna want to leave his wife. So it's like, no, I got a need here. So it's not like they're bad off. And especially with
Meanwhile,
them getting the tag belts, Vince hates the fucking like. Vince is literally fuck 12. He will
Yeah.
put tag. He's like, oh, you got arrested and you wanted to fight police? We're gonna make you champ.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. They have I think they're 2-0 at the DUIs.
yeah, they are.
Yep.
Yeah. So
They are.
you go.
And each one of them. So it's not even like it's a pattern with
Yeah.
Jay. Oh no, it's a pattern with Jimmy. No, it's a pattern with the Oos.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that that he doesn't want to leave his wife in the WWE. But here goes Dean Ambrose. Peace out, Renee. Way to be the first full-time commentator, first full-time female commentator. You're not that great at it, so I'm just gonna leave the company.
Oh, see, yeah, you said
Man, yeah, you could definitely say it because I don't have the testicular fortitude to say that. Because I've literally heard her and I was like, okay, so.
In her defense, a 3-person booth is kind of BS. It's very, very difficult to balance. I mean, and she doesn't have the footing in commentary quite yet. I think she's gotten a lot better. I think she's charming AF as a backstage correspondent. And I think that, Corey Graves is a bit played out because he's on both brands, and it just makes her look like clueless, which I don't believe that she is. I think that she probably would be pretty good at commentary if she ever actually got a chance to do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she could. If she gets a little bit more time, that's why I'm like, I have no qualms of doing that. So I'm like, I can't say anything because I haven't heard her that much. But it's a 3-man booth that's always trash, and eventually they're gonna be moving Michael Cole out, and they're gonna promote either Corey Graves or somebody else to be the top man. With taking that, and even with Corey Graves' thing going on right now with his drama. That's at this point, who else are they grooming for that role? Nigel
right,
McGuinness?
exactly. Well, that would be great, actually. I think that would be a good fit personally. But also, especially since they're trying to expand globally, it would make a lot of sense to put a globally recognized talent like Nigel at the front of the list. But that doesn't mean they're gonna. I think also what would maybe be better is if she was sort of in a, I don't want to say hostess role, but having a 3-person booth is like real tricky. If one of them was just kind of like, this is the upcoming segment, instead of Michael Cole always doing it, if he was just straight up play-by-play and then had Corey being the color with the heel bullshit that he loves to do. And then Renee, she could just do something along the lines of like, well, coming up next, we're going to have Ronda Rousey facing Ruby Riott because you didn't get to see a long enough match last night at Elimination Chamber or whatever. You know what I mean? And that would maybe be a way that you could weave 3 people into it. But a 3-person booth is very, very tricky. I mean, we do it in roller derby.
Different jobs.
Absolutely.
Different jobs for different folks. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We do it in roller derby because we have a lot of sponsors to read. But USA Network, they do their commercials. They don't need sponsorship reads. They don't need official timeouts explaining what's happening on the track. So a 3rd person isn't really necessary in this world. You know what I mean? So... so I got to message Patrick today as soon as I got to Phoenix because Shaggy, I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to be working spring training out here in Arizona. So we legit are covering the country right now with our wrestling knowledge.
Yeah.
Nice.
Time zones.
Yeah, I was so excited to message him because as soon as I got an update, I had to pull over. Just so you know, Patrick, I pulled over to message you. But
that's
his favorite of faves, the Puppy Pound, is coming back to Raw.
See,
oh my gosh.
I'm skeptical about it. Because it can either go either 2 ways, and we all don't want it to go the bad way. Either he's coming back to say,
nobody does.
Yeah, hey, I'm getting better, blah blah blah, and that's that. Or it could be, hey, it's not looking good, I gotta retire, which we hope is not the case. But the thing that kind of scares me is that he's going to be on Good Morning America the next day.
See,
so,
yikes.
That's
you're talking about
that's
Roman,
kind of But the GMA is kind of what gives me hope, because I feel like I don't think that they would book him and announce it that he's going to be on GMA the very next day unless there was something like super positive that he was going to relay. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, coming from Pat, you also don't need to put him on Good Morning America unless it was something urgent. Because if
Yeah,
he
like
was coming back, he would have to be. You would think he'd be put in a match at Mania,
yeah.
because this is what kind of freaks me out too. Because it's kind of like, oh, so it was like, oh, he's coming back for Raw. I wonder what he's gonna say. It's like, yo, he's gonna probably. I was like, he's at worst case he's gonna retire, or the other case he's gonna give us a status update saying he'll be back soon or whatever. Or if he's coming back early, they're prepping a road to WrestleMania. So he's not champ. So that's why then WWE doesn't have a history of putting non-champions on Good Morning America.
But here's the thing, though. He's a champion to Vinnie Mac forever and always. Like, how many times did he push Roman when nobody, except for maybe Patrick and one, like, desperate housewife, wanted him to have the title? Like, I mean, it was just the reality of it. I want to say it's because ticket sales have been down across the board. And what's going to bump ticket sales in New York, New Jersey, than the big dog fighting leukemia? I mean, I know that sounds gross to even say those words out loud, but that's WWE. They have
they would do that.
They have a whole line of jewelry inspired by female wrestlers, even though this is supposed to be them empowering women to be badass athletes. But no, here's some very glamorous and overpriced jewelry, because everything is generally a marketing ploy. What better way to get a bump in ticket sales, because there are so many tickets available for WrestleMania, it's not even funny, than to say, look who we have coming back in this special attraction match, even if it's not for the title. Roman beats cancer, for the second time.
Yeah.
You can also put Kofi. You can also put Kofi against Bryan, and that fixes all your tickets right there.
Yeah. They could definitely book that.
They can do that, but we'll touch on that a little later.
However, you know what? Can I just tell you?
I'll play. Go ahead. Yeah, ladies first.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, chivalry's not dead. It's good to know. As I'm painting my nails like a lady, like Lacey Evans.
Here we go. This is
Oh my God.
Okay, can I do a sidebar? So I was talking to Patrick before we hooked up with you, Shaggy, and one of my good friends in roller derby, I completely forgot that her shoot name is actually Lacey Evans, and she's one of the greatest. She's one of the greatest roller derby athletes that flat track roller derby has ever seen. Her name is Carmen Getsum. She has her own line of athletic apparel. She's a personal trainer. She's on USA Roller Derby. Like, she is a bad ass
Shout
from
out to the
Seattle.
Real Lacey Evans. Shout out to the real one, not this fake racist one that we've been seeing.
No, and Carmen Getsum is a badass, and her given name is Lacey Evans. And I actually feel like I should send her a message and be like, girl, I support you. I love you and your name. But so supposedly, with all this hullabaloo about Ronda Rousey trying to step out, and it's her life. If she wants to have a baby, she can, this and that. The name that's being tossed around would be Lacey Evans with the man and the queen. Yes, this was something that, oh my stars, I was just like, they have a real nasty habit of bringing people up too soon and not like developing their timing, their ring work, their mic work. And all they've had her do so far, for the most part, is strut around in a gorgeous outfit. And then Otis, ducky, shucky, chucky, like starts getting creepy around her. And then she disappears. So why she would be in the main event picture scene is beyond me. It's baffling. It's insulting as a female athlete. And I mean, the fact that she distracted Asuka, who then was pinned for the 4th time ever in her WWE career. Wrap your mind around that for a second. Which we'll get to that on SmackDown, but they obviously see big things for Lacey Evans. So
Vince can he's good friends with Trump. He can take her down there. She can be like a spokesperson, take pictures with, like, she fits. I'm not saying that she is a Republican because I don't know. I'm just going off the character. So all you conservatives and whoever, eat a dick. I'm not, trying to be political or anything. I'm just saying her gimmick gives off.
fucking torque.
Yeah, it gives off "Make America Great Again" vibes, and I'm pretty sure, look, I'm not dumb. Most of the fucking like audience that watch WWE, you know what it is. So, I guess I mean, big bucks right there, big bucks.
So now I'm going to steal a quote from just a British guy who likes wrestling. Again, the Wrestle Talk guys. Luke Owen is one of my favorite podcasters, bloggers,
Cool
vloggers,
dude.
whatever you
He's a
want to call
cool
them. Yeah,
dude.
he's awesome. And he said, boy, it sure is a lot of power to be blonde and beautiful in the WWE. And I was like, well, he's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
But something that is extremely wrong and is maybe got a little teeny beautiful badass band-aid on it. All these years we've been told that the greatest female superstar for my my teenage years was not worthy of being inducted to the Hall of Fame because of the career she chose to go to after her career with WWE ended. But finally, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to buy a fancy ball gown and some waterproof mascara, because after all these years of like tweeting and begging and everybody just praying and hoping and good vibes, China, as part of the D-Generation X, are the first inductees to the 2019 Hall of Fame class for WWE. I mean, like,
And you know what? It's kind of like saying, okay, like I'm happy. It's kind of like a backhanded compliment, because I think she can go in on her own.
Yeah,
and she
for
needed
sure.
to go in on her own. But this is I'll take it as a first step.
absolutely, that's how I feel. I was like, because obviously I'm a huge China supporter, and like I'm constantly pushing for her in the HOF, and watching her parents retweet that she was going in, like I got choked up. And I mean, it's just so sad that she wasn't here to see it happen. But all the people that love and support her and realize how unjust and unfair it is, it's just so great to see. There is that part of me that's like, she's in regardless, and you can never take that away from her. But then it's like, with that pinch of salt, you know what I mean? Because I am a little salty about it. Like, but then again, the optimist in me is like, you know what? She's going to get there eventually as a solo act, because what a solo act she was. And now, not only will she have gone in, but she will be a 2-time HOFer when it happens. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm legit, me and my buddy Pierce, Henny Omega, shout out to him. He texted me the day that it got announced, and he's like, we better get them HOF tickets, lady. Because we were at the Royal Rumble together, and I told him that if she gets a nod, there's no way I'm not going to be there for the Hall of Fame ceremony. So I'm going to have to look for a fancy dress and some waterproof mascara.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
Will definitely be in the building. My black ass will not. I
learned my lesson. I learned my lesson in Atlanta. I'm never attending a Hall of Fame. You got it. You motherfuckers got it. Like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
But I was like, because I told myself, if Macho Man gets in the Hall of Fame, I'm going to the Hall of Fame. Then I had my experience. I was like, oh, I'm okay.
Oh, legit. I'm not going to stay the whole time. I just want to be there for that moment. I want to see who actually inducts her. I want to see what they say about them. Because
it's going to be X-Pac. Motherfucker was going to say anything. I mean, they're all going to say something about her, but it's definitely going to be X-Pac, like, leading the charge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And honestly, he better. Yeah. I mean, they had such a tumultuous working and loving relationship. I mean, a lot of things that none of us could ever possibly understand. So, I mean, I think that, and hence the waterproof mascara comment for me, because I know I'm going to be waterworks. I mean, I'm not even going to drink a drop of alcohol that day, because I know I'm going to cry immediately. But I think, it's kind of interesting, because Badass Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, X-Pac, Heartbreak Kid, or Shawn Michaels, of course, and Terror Rising will be inducted into the Hall of Fame alongside the ninth wonder of the world.
You know what's bullshit though? Why isn't Tori being inducted? She was in DX.
Yeah.
She was girlfriend.
Someone said the same thing with Rick Rude.
So I want to count Rick Rude though.
But here's the thing though.
If you're not going to count Rick Rude, then you can't really count Tori either.
Right. That's what I was just going to say. Like, they were more like, they were more like the fringe of DX, not the heart and like the hardcore of it. You know what I mean? Like all the super crazy shit that DX was so legendary for, they kind of were like not an afterthought, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they came a bit later and they still had a huge impact, of course, but I mean, you know, I don't think that.
I know. I just wanted Tori to get a Hall of Fame ring, man. That's it. I'm trying to look
Oh, I'm
at
sure
all
she
the
will.
people. Oh no, hell no. She's not getting a Hall of Fame ring. Tori? That
Yeah,
was
I
in
know.
DX? Probably
I
in
know.
Yoga, probably. I don't know. But
all I'm saying is this. I mean, I'll take China being in it, but a part of me is like, look, and people want to say, oh, they don't want to let her in because Triple H is saying that. Nah, man. If anything, Triple H would want her in there. It's his wife, who ain't really has a
Right.
good relationship with her, and this is probably the closest thing they could do to get her her in, because the focus won't have to be all on her.
Right.
It's kind of
So it's
like,
kinda
here,
like-
damn, like here, take it. Like that's why
He's
I feel
like,
like with the
exactly.
China.
It's like, yo, we can do this. It's like, yo, we got to throw China in. He was like, yo, we can do that. He's like, so you know what? That's not a bad idea. But you know, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He could, and for all I could be, all intents and purposes, Triple H could have been like the asshole and be like, nah. But I'm like, nah. You seen her naked, dude. I don't think you would want to not have her not be disrespectful, to be super disrespectful about it. But I heard the fucking stories about her and Stephanie, and them shits weren't good. So
Yeah.
I'm at least happy about her being into this because she deserved it. And this is a start. This is a start.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Rick Rude being a part of it doesn't really make sense. Tori doesn't really. I mean, Rick Rude would, I think, make more sense than Tori, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just really excited that they didn't just say Shawn Michaels and Triple H and X-Pac. You know what I mean? Because X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws came later, and then Tori. So like, they could have done any iteration, and I'm glad that this is what they went with, because even though I think it's definitely, I don't really want to hear, oh, you didn't know, you better call somebody like a million times that weekend. But I think it's also important for them to be, you know, a part of this as well. And I think that
New York, you run into me in New York, I'm definitely doing the fucking whole recital, because that's the one thing I loved about DX more than anything. I walk in the classroom and I say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
And that's fine, but you know you're gonna hear it like every 5 minutes all weekend long. I don't know.
Neckbeard Utopia. Just
I
they won't
can't
be dressed
wait.
like Kevin Owens that weekend. They'll all be dressed like Road Dogg with fifth grade.
And maybe Tori will get a ring eventually. When they give one to Tori Wilson, they'll realize they did a typo and it was just Tori, and so they got to give that ring to Tori. It'll be fine. It'll all work out. But Mr. Ass is currently not just an ass man, but he's also one of the producers of AEW. So that's kind of interesting to see that that's in the mix. And after their show sold out in about 4.5 minutes, they had so many people upset about it that they had to add more seats. Have you guys heard about this? So they're like,
I did. I got an email.
Did you? That's so cool that they sent out emails to people, because, you know, I don't know that you would get one from WWE, but then again, and they did just recently confirm that they are going to have the second over the budget battle royale. So that's exciting. The other thing that's exciting is all the names that we're seeing popping up for StarCast. Now, we discussed that the Undertaker, what did you call him? The Gravedigger? Is that what we were saying?
Yeah, the Gravedigger.
The Mortician, Mark Conway? No, excuse me, Calloway. Mark Calloway, the Mortician, will be appearing at StarCast, and that is not cool with the WWE front office.
Man, yeah, here.
They are super unhappy, as reported by good old JR, Jim Ross himself. So it's going to be interesting, because this is the first time in I don't even know how many years that the Dead Man has nothing scheduled for WrestleMania. Maybe he's going to be announced against Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is going to retire him again. Who knows? But
he's been a thought. He's been a thought on Instagram.
Over there.
He put his booking info everywhere, you know, and Yesterday I just saw him do a video promo for a rapper named Bad Bunny. Out of all people, and I know his what is it, 25,000 for an hour of Undertaker. So yeah, I mean, like, you got to come with the bag if you want the dead man. But it's like, shit, he's everywhere. We're gonna see fucking Undertaker on Telemundo if he keeps it up. Like, he's just gonna
Dog,
be
didn't he just appear on a Christian
yes,
at
he
a
did.
Christian fucking? Because I made a
It
joke.
was actually
I was
good.
like,
It
my
was
man,
actually
free of the. I was like, my man, free of the WWE shackles, goes around the globe telling his story of how he has risen from the dead, but not as pure as Jesus.
yeah,
but not as pure as
yeah,
Jesus.
man.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Like, you can relive too. You can rise for your Lord.
Oh, Jesus
I
fuck.
mean, yeah.
All right. Can we talk about something else, please? Because I'm getting the heebie-jeebies over here. It's something that creeps me out almost as much as like the Baptist preacher infomercials that I get stuck watching at hospitals. They're terrible. Is Hulk Hogan? There's going to be a biopic released. Have you heard this, Shaggy?
Of course, it is. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. If he don't say if he don't say the N word, I don't want the movie. That's it. That's 100%. But from what I've read, it is only gonna cover the '80s version of Hulkamania, his rise start and fame of Hulkamania, and nothing else.
Oh, that's whack.
Like,
No fake beard.
no, nope.
No Hollywood?
No, I don't think they said, and it's apparently it's going to be on Netflix, but not 100%. They said it's a you got Thor,
Chris Hemsworth. He's
playing
confirmed.
Hogan, and I'm sitting here going like, okay, this would have been cool if he didn't come out as a dickhead.
Right.
The problem with this is, okay, we have this. He can come in. He's like, this movie would have been dope about 15 years ago. Now
Yeah.
this is kind of too little, too late. It's covering the rise-fall of like his earlier WWF days. They may cover the NWO days because that's huge.
That's
but
huge.
Other than that, that's what it said. It's only covering his 80s period. In which case, I'm like, okay, so I better have him trying to try out for Metallica.
Well, I was gonna say being the bass player, right?
Yeah, I need that. I need the fucking shortcomings if you're gonna do this bullshit. And let me, because I'm not gonna watch that shit, but I know I'm gonna legally watch it. I'm not gonna give them my money.
What about?
Legally? Go ahead.
Do you think they're gonna cover the fact that he cheated on his wife with somebody his daughter's age?
Hell no.
What year was that?
That was. I think it was later on, but I don't think they would do that. Like I said, I don't think they'll bring up the sex tape stuff. I don't think they'll bring up, which I think they should. I mean,
I feel like they have to.
Yeah, it's public knowledge. Like, he went to court for that. He went to court for the steroid thing with Vince. Like, you got to talk about it.
The steroid thing happened during the time that they're trying to cover. The thing is, they're not, just like most biopics, and I'll use this to a perfect example. Bohemian Rhapsody. They covered the clean stuff about Queen. They did not cover his Freddie Mercury's AIDS. The fucking AIDS. He announced his fucking I believe he announced his AIDS epidemic right as that concert went on, before they went on stage to the band. And they did not cover that whatsoever. So it's like, yo, biopics are only gonna be made leaving mostly the bad stuff out, unless those people want to be known for that.
But here's the thing. Hulk Hogan is looking for everybody's forgiveness, and a lot of people are not allowing it. Would this be a way, if he had input and he said, yes, I want this to also be in that, so people can see that I want to make amends and I made a mistake, and not just because I got caught, but also because it's wrong? Would that be like a way for him to maybe even remotely begin to repair that bridge that he very much set on fire with only gallons and gallons and gallons of gasoline?
It would be a small start, a tiny start,
Because I
but
feel like
it won't
we're
be enough.
far right. We're far removed enough from Freddie Mercury letting the world know that he was dying of AIDS so that people can
Mhm.
like idolize it, even though back then it would have been villainized and disgusting and gross. And instead people realize it's a fact of life and there's nothing wrong with it. Be open and honest and safe and clean. And you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's no, if somebody's sick, there's nothing wrong. Just be honest about it, you know? But I mean, like we're pretty on point with Hogan still being a racist prick.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, my
Yeah.
fuck Hulkamania shirt should be here in a couple days.
ooh, very
And
nice.
yeah, and I just, it's kind of at this point, I'm like, bruh, it's on. Like, look, it's fucked up with me because like I actually liked a lot of shit for when I'm gonna tell y'all a personal story. When that shit came out, I made even though I was making jokes, it was from the heart because the jokes I was making, I was like Hulk Hogan would never. Terry Bollea said that bullshit though.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't fuck
that's
with Terry Bollea. Fuck
no,
with
yeah.
I fuck with Hogan. I don't fuck with Terry Bollea. That shit to this day, I'm like, man. And then now he's just trying to fucking like, yo, you're not. Where's your actual apology, man? There's no fucking apology.
Right.
Yeah,
None.
there is
And none
none.
of this
That's
shit is
that's why I
received.
don't
And
fuck with it.
yeah, I don't fuck with Hogan at all, man. And it sucks because he was in a lot of my shit. I watched like fucking animated shows that he did voice work in, and I thought he was fucking hilarious. Now I'm looking at him with bated breath. Like I'm just like, man, all right.
I mean, honestly, I have a bunch of the animated series pins, like
Mhm.
the, you know, and two
Yeah.
that like I just can't even look at are the Hulk Hogan and the Fabulous Moolah. And when I was
Mhm.
young, those were like two of my favorites. So,
Yeah.
I mean, adulthood sucks.
Yep.
Like learning that your heroes are kind of pieces of human garbage is the worst thing in the world. But
Yep.
on occasion, hard work, perseverance, positivity pays off. Looks like it's paying off for Kofi Kingston. So there's a lot of rumors going around about this guy's career. We'll discuss it as soon as we get into this
I would
recap
say you
of
want to cover like the Elimination Chamber because that's where it all fucking started.
yeah, that's where Kofi Mania is running wild, brother. So yeah, let's talk about that.
Brother,
You want to go
dive
for it?
right in.
Yeah, it's Patrick. You
I'll
want to
do it.
start it up? Oh, you
Oh,
you got the doc in front of you?
Do you have your
um,
script, sir?
yes, I do. My bad. I was stuck for a minute. I told you, man, this OG Skywalker got me in a whole nother
This
zone.
motherfucker,
I am,
getting his Conan on right now.
yeah, orale. Viva la raza. That's kind of racist. Okay. I'm about to get bowdy and rowdy on this result. All right, so I guess we'll start Elimination Chamber, right? Correct. All right,
Mhm.
at the
Correct.
pre-show, we had Buddy Murphy defeating Tozawa to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. I like Buddy Murphy as champion. It just sucks that no one watches 205 to know how good he really
Great
is.
news.
Yeah, like he's been
Yeah.
killing it. So,
It's shit because 205 needs to be on these actual review cards. The last pay-per-view card it was actually on, not a pre-show, was TLC, if I'm correct, and that was the Fatal 4-Way.
yeah.
And that,
Yeah.
even though either that, it was either no, because I want to say the
No,
Royal
was
Rumble
it
was the Fatal
Mustafa
4-Way.
Ali versus
It was
yeah.
It was and I take it back.
Versus
It was
Buddy
TLC,
Murphy.
but it was on the fucking card, and I'm just like, why can't we do this more? Why does it have to be the pre-show?
Mhm.
I mean, I understand match can't get. Not every match can get on it because obviously no one wants to sit through. No, people can barely sit through 4 hours of wrestling. So goddamn it, help them if they had to sit through 6.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean,
Mm.
I kind of feel like I already know the answer, so maybe I'm just putting it out there for topic of discussion. But did we need to see Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman? Absolutely not.
No.
Can that have been a pre-show? Absolutely. For the people that are like getting warmed up, that's the kind of match you want to see on a pre-show.
No.
You don't want to see a title potentially
Yeah.
changing hands with nobody in the arena. I mean, that's
Look.
just a joke.
I can't wait until Braun Strowman leaves and just go to Hollywood. It's happening. He's not going to be he's not going to be wrestling. Like, no. I'll give it 2 more years. He'll be out of the WWE. He can go and be action star, being Expendable 7 or some shit. and just keep it moving. Just I don't want to see Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman on TV ever again. I'm just over him. That's just my personal rant. I'm sorry.
Look, man. All right. First off, is that the next matchup? Because this is the segues on the show. I can already tell you.
Actually,
a hell of a lot better.
Actually, no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Segues been great because I'm like, I've been on a lot of shows. None of the segues have been as good. I can tell you this right now.
Well,
unfortunately, unfortunately, it wasn't the first match, but it probably was the first match until the whole Corey Graves drama came out, and we had the women's elimination chamber first with the Boss and Hug Connection. I still think that's a shitty name. They defeated Nia Jax and Tamina, who I thought was going to be the winners. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, the Riot Squad, which is Liv and Sarah Logan, and the Iconics, and Naomi and Carmella to become the first quote unquote WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. They just forget. But
go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No, I thought it was a good match. Just didn't want the Boston Hug Connection to win, and obviously we saw Naomi and Carmella eliminated first to
immediately.
Yeah, to get rid of the Corey Graves chants that were going on.
Okay, first off, let's be real. That pin that they hit, that was phenomenal. That was a dope pin.
Yeah, it was great.
That was really good. That was some tag team wrestling right there. If I could
I really love this entire match. I thought it was awesome, and it made. So I was watching it at the bar next door to Nisei. We were at the Greystone, and I had
chicken and waffle place.
Chicken and waffles. Yeah. And I had a bunch of the Nisei regulars, my Nisei family, wishing me off to spring training. They all came with and watched wrestling with me, and everybody was jumping up out of their seats like almost their entire match because, I thought it was really exciting. I thought it was great, especially with like Nia Jax was just like passed out against the plexiglass or whatever. It was like, what is going on? But
she definitely went night. So, yeah, it was a great fucking match. I have no nothing bad to say about it. And then we go. Go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I was just going to say the only is that they were touting it as the first ever, even though that's completely incorrect and like disparaging to the women that came before. Right. But so they were talking about having it as the main event originally, and it did get bumped to the show opener to like get rid of the Carmella Corey Graves issues, but also to give it the respect that it deserves, because if you're not the main event, you better be the opener. That's basically the logic of WWE. Yeah, so
that is true. Yeah.
At least they gave it that respect, even though I wish it would have been the headliner, because then maybe that segue would have killed Shaggy.
That would have been fucking great. But in this case, I either had Boston Hug Connection winning, or I either had the Iconics. Because the only two tag teams that weren't, in my mind, put together randomly or haven't had enough experience at that time as a tag team to make me believe them winning. So that's the reason why I was like, okay, I'm fine with them winning, even though it was a foregone conclusion, because you kind of had a feeling that they would. Once it started getting to the last few teams, it's like, okay, we already know who's winning. But yeah, not a bad way to start off the Elimination Chamber. And to be fair, once again, playing a little bullshit devil's advocate, the fact that they're saying this the first they won that, they can pull off the shit. Well, it's the first time for WWE, which is bullshit. But yeah, it's whatever, man.
And they could say it's the first time the belts were won in a chamber match. That's because that's correct. That's other than that, it's the fact of the matter is it's not right. It's not. They're like, no, none of this is right. But okay, cool. Carry on. What's the unless we got anything else, what was the next match?
Oh, let me see. Let me go back to my thing. Okay, so then we had the Usos defeating The Miz and Shane McMahon, which we could see a mile away. Obviously this is setting up something between Shane and Miz. Um, I mean, it was a good match. I mean, it was a good match. I don't want to see 49-year-old Shane doing shitty punches and doing the same leap of faith spot he's been doing for the last 15 years. Like, you don't have anything else to prove, my man. You don't have anything else to
Well,
prove.
Just storyline stuff, man. It is what it is.
Well, I would just say let's just
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say let's just move on because this title changed hands. That's all you need to know about that match. There was nothing to me that was like
this was legitimately the only fuck. This was the fuck 12 match. That was it. That was like fuck the police.
And I do like
pretty
the
much
fact. I do like the fact that after backstage after the match, they did a interview with the Usos, and Jimmy mentioned that I guess it's going to be a new tagline. He wants everyone to square up.
Square up.
Yeah, so and that was supposedly what he told the cop when he got out the car or whatever.
Yeah,
so I'm glad they're running with that. One thing I didn't like about this show was another black man being defeated. Actually, two this time. It was Finn Balor defeating Bobby Lashley and the man of the hour, Leo Rush, in a handicap match to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Now, number one, I think this was like the perfect move to put the belt on Balor. I'm just making jokes, it was Black History Month.
Did it have to be Black History Month?
Yeah.
Though? I was like,
yeah, that's the joke right there.
I'm sitting there clapping. Yeah, you would take the belt off the black man in Black History Month. Yeah.
And not just that, but like break up a black duo. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
which
getting that black on black crime. Like, that's not okay.
Lashley needs Leo Rush, and I hope, whatever it is, obviously they were together on Raw, but like hopefully they don't, break them up. I know Leo Rush has some heat in the back right now, but like, he allegedly, which by the way, I think his IG stories, or not stories, but live IGs are the most hilarious things on the planet. If you ever see him go live on IG, please watch it because he is fucking funny as shit. But yeah, they Finn Balor won the belt. Perfect person to have the belt going into WrestleMania, and maybe it could put him in a feud against someone great. I don't know. Next we have
Ricochet.
Oh yeah.
Well, so when we get to Raw, I guess we can talk about that. But that's one of the things that I was hearing is that they wanted to push Ricochet, and so have him going up against a title holder was really going to do that for him and get him some credibility, especially since Finn Balor's credibility has been waning since he came back from his shoulder injury that lost in the Universal title. You know what I mean? Like, what has he done since then? Not a whole lot. Or he's not been able to do a whole lot because of the crappy booking of him. It's certainly not his wrestling ability, his charisma, his merch sales are through the roof. You know what I mean? There's no reason for Finn Balor not to have a title. Well, but they just, because they don't like him because of his accent. That's so fucked.
Yeah. And,
you know what I mean?
But you want to know who else wasn't doing a lot? Ruby Riott.
Shush you.
She wasn't doing a lot in this match with Ronda Rousey. Of course, she wins the title. I literally, and look, I know it's going to sound crazy. I went out to go take a piss, okay? But look, I wanted to watch the match though.
Patrick, was the women's match, the women's title match, was your piss break?
No,
Patrick.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I'm gonna go check his timeline. I'm gonna be like, hold on.
Yes and no.
Here it is.
No, he wiped his Twitter clean. We're all good.
No. Listen, look. I was like, you know what? That Ruby Riott's coming out, Ronda Rousey's coming out. Okay, I can take a piss and I can be back to see the match. By the time I came back, I saw Ruby Riott holding her arm, and then fucking Becky and it was just over that quick. I think the match probably went like 2 minutes or something like that. Like it was short.
It was like 2 minutes and 36 seconds or something ridiculous like that. And it was kind of really hard to watch, even though I was so excited because like Ruby wrestled for freelance for a long time and she wrestled at AAW, and like I've announced her as Heidi Lovelace when she tag teamed with Kimberly. Like, I was so excited
Yeah,
for her that she
I
was
was
wrestling
too.
Ronda Rousey. I was
Yeah, and
so
that's my
stoked.
thing. Yeah, like that's
And then it
why.
was just over.
Yeah, I thought
I
It,
it
was
was.
I was upset. I was like, really?
Yeah,
Really? I said, this is her like first title match opportunity pay-per-view, and yet you only give her 2 minutes?
no offense whatsoever. There was not a
None.
single moment that I could say, well, at least she did this. And like, she is a solid wrestler. Like, she's a
yeah, she
fantastic
is, and I
performer.
thought they would have had
Like,
a great match together. You know, Ruby's been killing it, and and I have to give Ronda Rousey credit too because she's been getting better every match that she's had. So I
And
was
her
looking
look,
forward. Yeah, and the
she
look was
looked,
crazy. The Sonya Blade look, the
yeah,
Mortal
Sonya
Kombat.
Blade, MK11.
Yeah, coming out in a
Sonya
couple
shit.
months, which
That
I will
Sonya
have.
shit was dope. That Sonya, like when I saw that, I was like, yo, she's killing that shit. Like,
Yep.
I was like, yo, she came up to Sonya Blade. I was like, look at her. I said, and I said, Zelina probably mad as hell if she can't come out as Jade.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
no shit. No
yeah,
shit, right?
She was
But
like, shit.
I thought that like Ronda performed great. If it wasn't against Ruby, I wouldn't have been so upset. But
Me
it
too,
is what
because
it
I'm
is.
a Ruby Riot. I'm a Ruby Riot fan. I had my bias too, because I at least if you're gonna do it, like at least give her 5 minutes, at least
Yeah.
because we know how great of a wrestler she is. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I was hyped. I was like, yo, I hope she really turns some heads on this. And it was 2 minutes. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
She didn't even
man.
get a chance to turn anybody's heads, and that's what was upsetting for me. Not as much as having to sit through Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman again in a no DQ match. I don't even care about that, so we're gonna skip
Yeah,
it. Who
skip it.
cares?
Yep, next. Thank
So
you,
the main
next.
oh, you know my girlfriend, our
Yeah,
girlfriend, I'm sorry, Ariana
yeah.
Grande. Um so what happened in the final that we want to talk about here, other than
Um,
everything awesome?
I mean, everything was great. The shit really didn't kick off until Randy Orton got in the ring, and we saw the RKO counter, and he eliminated AJ, and then we saw Kofi eliminate Randy Orton, which is kind of like full circle, which
Mm-hmm.
what I thought. I'll
Yeah.
continue that and because some more stuff happened Tuesday, but yeah, like Kofi, um, like I made a tweet the other day, saying there's only a few times where I actually cried watching
I
WWE,
saw that
you
tweet. It
know,
was so cute.
and this was the fourth. I was saying like the fourth time that I was like, damn, because it had us believing like, damn, Kofi might can get the belt. It was a lot of kickouts, a lot of false finishes and stuff like that. And the story, like the match told a story, and that's something that you don't really see that much in the pay-per-views nowadays, because you get matches like Baron Corbin and fucking Braun Strowman. But
Right.
it was great, and I
Ronda
get it.
Rousey or Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riot.
Yeah, but yeah, like
Why are you trying to hurt me?
it was a
The curse.
it was an amazing match. Like I said, it still sucks because that was supposed to be our guy Mustafa Ali up in there doing that,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yo,
damn,
real shit. Mustafa died for our sins, bruh. Like,
yeah,
he legitimately, like, I was hyped for Mustafa Ali from the get go. That was another dude that I liked a lot, even when I saw him in the Cruiserweight Classic. When I was down in Orlando when I went to the Cruiserweight Classic, I saw him. The problem with that shit was when he got hurt, I'm like, yo, who are they gonna put in? And they put Kofi in. I'm like, and I actually had a tweet beforehand saying the only people I would like to see as champion is Kofi Kingston.
yeah.
Say I was like Kofi. It was Kofi and another dude. I gotta look. I gotta find out who I had. I was like, but no, Kofi and R-Truth. I said it was
Mm-hmm.
Kofi and R-Truth. I was like, if anybody needs to be WWE champion or Universal champion, I was like, I want Kofi or R-Truth. No one else.
I thought you was gonna
Yes, we
say
got
Ezekiel Jackson or some shit. I don't know.
Zeke ain't been around that, but like I
No,
said,
I think he's out.
Ahmed
only two people.
Johnson.
Yeah,
Fuck
oh
no.
man, fuck him.
Fuck no. It was those are the two tiered guys, and I know one has been a champion, NWA champion, and the other
Mm-hmm.
one is one title away from a Triple Crown champion. I say these are the two that deserve it the most.
Yeah,
shot. I'm like, he's not winning. And then like I said, he had his going into the Elimination Chamber. He had that 1 hour show for that, and that was when he did the thing with AJ saying, "I've waited 11 years.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm just a joke. I've waited too long for this."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he went in, and of course he went out. But I'm thinking the whole time, and I'm like, part of me being a smart wrestling fan, I was like, he's not gonna win. It makes no goddamn sense because you just
Right.
Right.
on that belt, you just redesigned that belt, and there's no reason for to lose right now. I said, as
So
long as he's not eliminated by Randy, I'm
that's
fine.
all that matters.
Yep.
I was like, just that. I'll take it. But what I got
So
was so much more.
yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I felt watching it. And what I said last week on our show was that he's going to take the pin from Daniel, but he's not going to win the title. And it was like above and beyond what I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was just so exciting to watch. And that beautiful shot of him sitting on the stairs along with his two brothers of the New Day, looking so dejected, yet they were proud of him. But oh my gosh, it was amazing. And like the WrestleMania sign looming overhead. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
oh
was a
my God.
great. That was a great shot of that.
That was a
Just
great shot.
but
Well, so
we'll see what happens. I thought, like I said, I thought it was a good match.
I'll say
Probably.
one other excuse me. One other thing about that. Um the thing one thing about that shit was you knew, and Val, of course, me and Pat being black, we got the stigmas like there hasn't been a lot of black WWE champions, and with him it means a little bit more much because with representation. However,
right.
we being smart wrestling fans, we know better. So for
Yeah.
that to reach up to that point, it meant a lot. Especially the Pat, I didn't cry because I knew fucking better. Come on, man.
No,
No,
I did, man, because it was a story, man. And you saw me. The first tweet I posted after that match was the Joker laughing. Cause that's all you could do. I was just like, okay, I get it. You
I'm sitting
know.
here going, I seen it, and I'm like, yo, this shit. I'm like, in the match, I'm like, yo, all right, I said, Kofi's coming in. I said, all right, just please, for the love of, I'm like, I'm sitting there, as soon as Randy comes in, Kofi's, and I'm like, please, for all the love of God, do not have Randy fucking get rid of Kofi. Please. And then
Yeah.
Kofi gets rid of AJ, which I was fucking shocked on. And then
Yeah.
they get rid of fucking Randy. And I'm like, yo, it's just Daniel Bryan and fucking Kofi. What I think the biggest thing that I took from this was Kofi would have won. We already know, and I like to be a realist. If he would have won, they would have did it to capitalize on the popularity. But
Yeah.
they probably also would have gave that right back to Daniel.
Oh, on
Oh yeah,
Tuesday
he would have
night.
definitely got it back Tuesday. Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe he would have held it for the rest of Black History Month, and then there you go. There's your title. It's history.
Uh-huh.
Had it for Tuesday.
Yep.
But no,
Tuesday was over with. Yeah.
but yeah, he legitimately would have had that belt for probably a week. Really, I said, and I don't want Kofi to have. I want him to have like at least a month or at least one title defense, and lose it. You can lose his shenanigans. Make it like legitimate. Don't just give him a belt and take him. Don't play fucking hot potato with the most coveted fucking belt in that company.
Right.
What I didn't want, and if he's gonna lose, I'd rather him lose like that because it's not the fact that he won't get other chances. Because what I also said this in a tweet earlier today. I was like, I would have hated for him to win only to drop that belt like a day or a week later. In this case, for
Mm-hmm.
him to lose, keep that same energy that you guys have and put him in the main events and everything like that, or even getting shots. Hell, have him win Money in the Bank.
Yeah. You know.
Ways for him to actually be relevant and actually, when he gets his chance, he'll get his chance. It doesn't even have to be a long run. It doesn't
See.
have to be. It's just like something more believable. Don't have him win unless the New Day kind of helped him cheat. Then he won. Then I'm like, hey, he's gonna lose that fucking belt, but because he won it off of shenanigans.
But see,
Yeah,
the rumor is, with Kofi and him not probably not winning it at Fastlane is that Big E's supposed to turn on him. So
See,
not. I fucking hope not.
God, I hope not, because
It
I love
makes
Biggie. I don't want that to happen.
it makes fucking sense, but I hope not. I hope they do not go that way.
I feel like they
If
will. That's how you get Kofi out the title picture. I mean, you
because
know,
it's it's fuckery. I hate it. If the funny thing is, if this would have happened last year, I wouldn't have mind because okay, this is fresh. Like you cost Kofi the title.
yeah,
New Day
yeah,
was kind of falling out, but now it's kind of like banding together. It's a beautiful thing, and it's like, why are we doing this now?
yeah. They should have done that a long time ago. A long time ago.
Yeah, man. I guess, but it is what it is. But all in all, I enjoyed Elimination Chamber. It wasn't shit. Or I'm sorry, I take that back. Elimination terrible.
I thought I thought there was two matches, one that was absolute garbage and one that was unfortunate garbage, but the rest of it I thought was really good.
Yeah, it was decent. I liked it. It was cool. It was cool. Um, so that was Elimination Chamber. We can speed through Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. I mean, like it really, they try to do the fucking rate and grabber trick and fucking botched it. Well, they didn't. I wouldn't say they botched it. It was just that the crowd was just pissed. I just wanted
You
to get
talking
that
about
out the way.
the NXT? Yeah, the NXT call ups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I
I
miss
mean,
surprises. I miss them. I
I
miss
like
them.
the surprises. I like the aspect of it. I like that Triple H was like, we're going to call four dudes up that deserve it. But I mean, maybe not the best crowd to do it in front of. Like,
Yeah,
not to be disrespectful to
Be fair.
Lafayette, Louisiana, but I mean,
Go ahead.
they were
Oh
probably
no,
hoping to see John Cena. You know what I
oh no,
mean? Like,
they can go fuck themselves. They
no,
can go
they
fuck
was going. They
themselves.
wanted to go see the
Hey,
Briscoes.
Kellen, you
Yeah,
taking that
Kellen, our
charge,
guy.
G? You
Yeah,
taking that charge, G? The
yeah,
city is
our buddy.
awful.
He's from Lafayette, and he just tweeted. He was just like, "Man, this one's on me. I'm sorry." Like,
oh no.
That
yeah,
was
like
your goddamn charge.
yeah, like the fans. They were. I don't know what the hell that was about. But yeah, we had the four guys come up: Ricochet, Aleister Black, Gargano, and Ciampa. Um, I wish he would have just left it at we got four guys from NXT. They're here, and you're gonna see them tonight. And then we just
Right.
see the surprises afterwards, because you know, just going through all the shit that happened. First, we got the bullshit Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin tables match out the way because yeah, that was definitely a piss shit break. And then we went into the Finn Balor walking out and had his title and stuff, and Leo Rush what's the word I'm looking for? Interrupted him, and then Bobby Lashley comes in there and they're beating him up, and then of course we know Ricochet's coming out. We know that because they showed pictures of him and Finn Balor hanging out, before the show started. Stop doing that. You know how crazy it would have been to just see Ricochet. Maybe the crowd might have not went crazy, but just to see Ricochet run
That's why
out.
they did it. That's why they did it
That's what I
because
think.
like you gotta show who they're talking about, and you gotta because you're in front of you're not in a smarky city. You're not in
Right.
Philadelphia. You're not in fucking New York. You're not in L.A. You're
Chicago.
Chicago. You're not in these places where the people know these people. They fucking you had to fucking show them. And now, granted, had they now I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but that's the reason why they did a fucking redo
Yep.
Tuesday
Yeah,
because it was well
And
more
Nola.
received in fucking New Orleans because that's where majority of those actually all four of those dudes actually wrestled in that same
right.
arena
Yeah,
1 year ago. So it was better for that, but I like the crowd ruined four debuts because everybody was silent. You had a fucking DIY reunion and a fucking versus the revival, a takeover rematch that was kind of weird with Johnny Gargano uh taking bumps how like just weirdly, but
yeah.
other than that, you had a fucking bang up tag team match on free TV and from the crowd.
Yeah. I
You
guess.
know, I heard a lot of people being upset at the fact that Gargano and Ciampa were like DIY BFFs again. But the thing is, the crowd live, they had no idea who either of those guys were.
Yeah,
Honestly,
true. Yeah. Fuck that crowd.
That you
That
had not just that. I think the most thing I was pissed off about. You probably had one of the best musics and entrance combinations that you have seen in a long ass time.
mm-hmm.
No one said anything when Aleister Black came out to the ring. You
Yeah, he
got now
definitely has
he
one of the
out of
best.
all it was out of him and Ricochet that got the crowd to go ooh and ah because when he hit that black mask, it was over. It was
Yeah.
like you were like, oh, they were like, oh, damn, they kind of freaked out, quiet throughout the rest of the match, but it was like, yo, this shit, these men have wasted their time coming here. And it and I'm like, yo, this was awful. You didn't know if they're gonna show up on SmackDown because you figured they're gonna save all the good people from Raw.
Yeah.
So I was hyped to see that they were put on SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they gotta save the ratings, man. Everything's going to shit. You know, the SmackDown deal looks like it's changing up now because that's not for sure now. Like a lot of shit's going on over there. And they gotta do something quick. But
well, and the other thing too is they still use the NXT titles for them,
yeah,
like
yeah,
meaning the title, like the crayons that are underneath that announce who the wrestler is. It was still
right.
the NXT graphics. So, I mean, who knows if they're actually going to be on the main roster now, or if it was just a bump in ratings grab, you know?
Yeah, I'm kind of upset they got rid of Aleister Black nameplate, his custom.
Oh
I
yeah,
was not a fan. Yeah, I was not a fan of that. Kind of left the regular. I'm like, dog, that's trash.
Yeah, that
So
was,
I
that was
was like,
pissed.
that's trash. I was pissed. I was like, no, give me my satanic symbols, you
But
pieces of shit.
yeah, so Finn Balor and Ricochet, they defeated fucking Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush, not Russ, Rush. And then we get Heavy Machinery come out and they get their stupid shit going on, especially with Otis just yelling crazy shit like Chris Farley or something. And then of course Lacey Make America Great Again Evans comes out and does the same shit she's normally been doing, just walking down, the ramp a little bit, struts, and then turns right back around. So then Heavy Machinery does the same thing, but then all of a sudden they start dancing like the Bushwhackers. Um, Might as well kiss that tag team goodbye. That shit's over with.
Real shit. They got me with their fucking bushwhacker because I've done that walk at my old job just because fucking around because only certain people got it, but that put a smile on my face. But I understand.
Yeah, that tag team's over. It's over before it began. They'll be fighting.
They're basically just like relegated to be a douchey comedy act, like a bumbling idiot, which is kind of insulting and sad.
Yeah, because they were actually decent on NXT as well.
Yep.
But we know how that goes. Then we had a segment in the back with Triple H, and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's like, "Look, I'm tired of you bringing all this new talent in, and talking."
What accent is that?
I don't know. I'm too high. I try to do a Scottish accent, but it's not.
Oh my God, Pat, I love you so much.
I don't sound like Groundkeeper Willie, so I guess it didn't work. But
I thought you were honestly trying to do Arnold Schwarzenegger here.
So did I.
Yeah.
I was like, Hans and Franz, I had to pump you up.
This motherfucker said, "Nah, I was trying to do a Scottish accent." I'm like, "What?"
Ladies and gentlemen from Ireland.
From Ireland, he's Scottish.
Yeah, my bad. The whole Europe. I'm sorry.
The entire European, all of Pangea. I'm so sorry, Pangea.
Yeah.
The entire Europe.
The entire Europe.
So Dean Ambrose shows up on the
Groundskeeper Willie.
Yeah.
From Scottish Georgia.
Yeah. Fucking Dean Ambrose shows up and he slaps the kilt off of fucking Drew McIntyre. And of course they made the match for that. Before we go to that though, we have the piss break of the night. It was Lucha House Party. defeating Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Now my thing is why put these two back together when you're just gonna have them keep losing? And number two, why does the Lucha House Party gotta keep coming out with pinatas and noisemakers? Like, come
Oh,
on,
I
man.
can tell you because then they can sell more masks at the matches, and little kids love that shit.
Yep.
I mean, I totally agree with you, but it's 100% because when I went to Money in the Bank in St. Louis, the first Money in the Bank for women, they had no female merch except for Nikki Bella, who wasn't even on the show that night, but they did have Sin Cara pants, and they had Kalisto masks. So it's the Luchas sell merch, even if they're not even like Sin Cara wasn't even on the show.
Yeah, I don't
And
think
they were
I've been
selling,
on any show.
yeah. But
Yeah,
here's some $45 pants. Like what?
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Somebody will fucking buy it. Hell, I'll probably buy it. I don't know. It'll get hot enough. You might see me with some Sankara pants and a Kalisto mask or something. I don't know.
Doing the Drew McIntyre accent.
Yes. Oh my god, I'll probably get kicked out of every fucking bar I go into. But
Motherfucker say from Scotland, Illinois.
yeah, this is crazy. So yeah, so that happened. The Boston Hub connection came out, and you deserve it. Blah blah blah. That shit. Nia Jackson, Tamina come out, and they get beat before they can even get in the ring or whatever. Johnny Gargano and Ciampa, they defeated the Revival. I don't understand this shit because they had Ciampa acting like a face,
Yeah.
and it's like, I mean, it just takes away what they've been working on for the last like 2 years. Like, it doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
But the thing is, like, to WWE universe, NXT is like the land of Oz. Like, people don't see it. They just see in black and white grayscale.
Yeah.
And then the people that can see how rich and beautiful all the colors of the rainbow are, they fucking love NXT. But like Joe Blow in Lafayette, Louisiana, who just wants to see John Cena,
Yeah,
I mean,
right, yeah.
they're just seeing like Kansas. You know what I mean? Like when Dorothy's still in Kansas and there's about to be a tornado and shit is weird. Like that's what they see. They don't know that Ciampa and Gargano have had this blood feud for like 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Yeah, so
they don't spend that $9.99 on the WWE network.
On the network.
We don't spend that money on the network, bubble. That cuts into my natural light.
They probably spent $9.99 on the what Destination Pop, wherever Impact was on. I don't know.
Destination America, and then Pop.
Let's see.
And now
it's all terrible.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre defeats Dean Ambrose in 1 minute and 52 seconds. Good way to go out, I guess. After the match, they showed like this whole segment of where we had
That's my Dino.
Seth Rollins and what was that? Yeah, it was Seth Rollins. They showed like a whole Brock Lesnar thing, a package, which actually made Brock look like a badass. And Seth was just like, if I die trying to beat Brock, that's what I'm going to do. And then out of nowhere, Dean Ambrose shows up and was like,
"Slay
hey.
the beast."
Yeah, Dean Ambrose shows up and is like, "Hey, why wasn't you out there?" And Seth's like, "What is wrong with you?" And he just walks away. So I guess now Dean Ambrose is playing this confused guy that didn't just try to kill Seth Rollins for the last 2 months and turn heel.
Okay. First
It's
off,
on the same night.
I'm gonna touch on it real quick.
Yeah.
I loved every moment about that segment.
Yeah, I did too, because it's like he's actually crazy. He's like, what?
He looked at him like, and then walked away. He's like, man, where were you, man?
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
He's like, and Seth is looking at him like, bro, what is your problem?
Yeah, like, what is wrong with you?
I don't even know, bro. And he just walks away. I'm like, yo, he's his best R-Truth impression, and I'm on board.
Yeah, the white R-Truth. That's crazy that Dean Ambrose has became the white R-Truth.
He's like, you been at, man? He's like, been at. You know I hate your guts, right? He's like, oh, all right then. And just
just walked away, but I'm glad, Dean Ambrose is going out on whatever terms he's going out on. Aleister Black defeated Elias, which was stupid. But good for Elias. Then Ronda Rousey defeated Ruby Riott once again with the submission to retain the title.
More than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it went for like 11 minutes, if I could recall. But, um, you know, that should have been the match on the pay per view.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just my review of that is just like
Yeah.
because I don't even want to talk.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the fancy new superstar jewelry on WWEshop.com. That's what I'm
yeah.
gonna do. Some retail therapy.
$87 for the Alexa Bliss
Thank
ring.
you. Next.
Get your boo right for Valentine's Day is over with, so now you gotta like focus on another day or some shit. I don't know, just
St.
for a
Patrick's
birthday.
Day.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day. Get your girl a ring for St. Patrick's Day.
What
The Alexa
about
Bliss.
Saint Valtrix Day? No, that sounds bad. That sounds like a herpes
Valtrix?
medication. Never mind.
Yeah, Valtrix. Yeah. Yeah, we're not all right.
Straight up.
Let me edit that out. We're not making those shirts.
Yeah, no, none of those. How about somebody needs to buy me some Charlotte Flair earrings to wear to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony for China? How about that?
I got you.
Let me go skin a peacock, and then we'll do it like that. That's pretty much what that is.
Sounds dope to me.
Raw. So pretty much So Raw was Raw. Really didn't do too much of nothing. We're okay. You know what? That Raw would have been dope had it would have been in another city. Let's just say it like that. I'm not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah,
we're upset, but if you go back and you look at that Raw card was not that bad. But that took everybody out. It was all right. Redo. So
Yeah,
redo
absolutely.
Tuesday night in New Orleans.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, if it was somewhere else, that would have been a good Raw. But SmackDown, on the other hand,
Wait, so you're saying SmackDown was better than Raw again? That's so weird.
yes, Val.
Not the Raw's fault though.
I'm just like, whoa, there's WrestleMania texting gloves. Oh my God, get me off this website right now.
I will say this though, it was an injustice that they left off the United States champion, but he was in a dark match and he teamed up with Rey Mysterio, which is crazy because Rey Mysterio in a dark match. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, what planet are we living on?
They defeated the Colognes. Maybe and you know what? the racist neckbeard would be like, well, you need a Mexican up in there to talk to those other two Mexicans so they can learn how to communicate in the ring. But the Colognes know how to speak perfect English, so you definitely can't put that reason.
And they're Puerto Rican.
Yeah, and they're Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I was like, excuse me. Actually, they're Puerto Rican.
Hey, but
I'm gonna let him finish because I was thinking
I knew they were Puerto Rican. I was just doing I knew they were Puerto Rican. They're the famous Cologne family, the WWC. I know all about that. Look, I'm a neckbeard.
That's kind of racist, Bear Bubba. I don't condone that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. I had to edit that out. So yeah, we had.
You're gonna have to put one of those "that's racist" sound effects.
Yes, I'm gonna have to add that in.
Racist.
Yeah. So then we had Aleister Black. Aleister Black, he defeated Andrade, with his wife
over rematch
by his side. That's crazy. Beat up the man. I guess
someone made a joke. I think that was you that said it, or somebody else said, Andrade hit Aleister so hard that Zelina must have told him that because that's for not washing. That's for leaving the dishes in the sink.
Oh no, that was not me. I will say that right now. That was not Patrick Pryor.
Zelina told Andrade to hit Aleister Black so hard to leave a message saying, "Stop leaving them damn dishes in the sink."
Yeah, that was not me.
I was like, okay, that's kind of ridiculous. Also believable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was a better match. Aleister Black, of course, won. We had Ciampa and Gargano DIY defeating the Bar. Little scary moment there. Ciampa knee kind of looking like it did some crazy shit, but apparently
no, that's because he's really good at selling it. He's really, really good at selling.
Yeah,
he's fine. But it
was a botch, but he sold it like it was more than just a botch.
Absolutely.
And by the way, if you'd have told me that Gargano and Ciampa versus Cesaro and Sheamus is a match that would have happened in 2019, a few years ago, me not knowing that was a match I needed to see in my life, I'd have called you crazy. But that match was something I never knew I needed until I saw it.
Yeah.
Was it Johnny or was it Champa? I can't recall because I'm traveling and exhausted. That said, you guys might be the bar, but we're here to break the bar or something like that.
Gargano. It was Gargano.
It
It
was
was,
Johnny.
yeah. But it was, I thought it was like a pretty decent line, like all things considered, you know?
And another thing, those two way bigger than Johnny
Yeah.
and Ciampa.
Yeah,
I was
Ciampa,
like,
they looked like
yo.
5'5" in the bar. And they were like 6'4", 6'5", fucking built like mountains. You know?
It didn't hit me. It didn't hit me until Ciampa and Sheamus that
Sheamus,
started
yeah.
the match.
Yeah.
And Sheamus, they went and grabbed, they went for the fucking wrap up, and Sheamus worked him into Ciampa in a corner, and I'm like, he is fucking huge.
Yeah, no, Sheamus. Sheamus is very, very large. He used to be a bodyguard. He was actually a bodyguard for U2. Like, he was security for U2 in Ireland. Like, that's how he got picked to get into wrestling. Yeah, I mean, he's a huge dude. Like, I saw him when I was drinking at the hotel bar with Pierce and my guy DJ, my guy Eric, and it was like Sheamus's birthday or something. And he was just really nice, saying hello to everybody and then went about his business. But he was like a big dude. I mean, he's like probably 6'4", 6'5", I would guess.
Well, I guess one thing that got me was because I forget how small Ciampa is. When you see him, you're like, yo, that's a big dude. And then you're like, wait, no, he's not. What am I talking about?
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, Sheamus is 6'4". So.
Huge man.
And he's 267 pounds. Tommaso Ciampa is about my height, but he's way more muscle than I am, obviously. And he, yeah, hell yeah, that dude is cut.
Wow.
But so he's, I mean, I'm 5'9", so he's billed at 5'11". I don't know that I believe that, but
Oh no.
I'm 5'9" and a half. Just saying.
Yeah, Hey, we just gonna round you up. You're 6 feet, Val.
Okay, cool. No, that's China. She's amazing. But yeah, anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say, like Shaggy said, I didn't know I needed that match in my life, but boy, am I glad that we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was something I was like, okay, so they're gonna be a tag team against, I don't know. It was like, put a random SmackDown tag team. I was like, what, are they gonna go beat the Usos now? But then they put the bar on. It's like, yo, I didn't know I needed this tag team match until I saw it, and that was probably the highlight. Because, like I said, that's when I stopped watching SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I was at work. So that was probably like my highlight, because I was like, yo, that's fire.
I mean, you're not wrong. That was, I thought, one of the best parts of the show, because the next match was super annoying, but also just reconfirmed what I was saying earlier about Lacey Evans, and they got big old plans for her. Because Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville come out, and they're talking about who's going to face off Asuka, and I'm like thinking, yeah, it's definitely going to be Sonya Deville. I could see that happening. Oh no, guess what? It's Mandy. And Mandy ended up like faking an injury and distracting, and then Lacey Evans came out, and I mean, good for Mandy Rose. I want to see good things happen to Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, because I actually do like them as a tag team, and that's who I was pulling for in the Elimination Chamber, because they could have just disbanded and gone separate ways when Absolution kind of dissolved because of Paige's retirement. And instead they've been holding down the fort and working as a team, even though they had that weird angle for a minute where they didn't like each other. But I mean, I like them together. I see a lot of good things happening for Mandy. She works really, really hard. I don't give a shit that she's like a golden goddess, blonde babe. Like, all that aside, she works really, really hard. And I don't want people to like slut shame her or beauty shame her or whatever just because she's like a super mega babe. Doesn't mean she's not a badass athlete. And
to be fair, I'm sorry, go, because I got something to add on to that too.
Well, and I also don't want to see Sonya Deville get shoved aside just because she's the brunette who also, like, sometimes they decide to be cool with the fact that she's a lesbian. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see legit, honest representation and support. And I'm not saying she should get a gimme all the time, because that's not fair either. But I think Sonya Deville has a lot of potential, and I do want to see representation on the main roster for Middle America to understand, be who you are, and that's who you are. You know, as long
Yeah.
as it's with love and not hate, obviously.
Um,
But yeah, go for it, Shaggy.
so yeah. No, I remember when I saw Mandy Rose, because we get NXT here in Jacksonville a lot. They come through. As a matter of fact, they were supposed to be here. I think they were here either a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But um, it was one of her first times out here, and we gave her like she was actually doing some work in that match. We kept and she took nice to where we kept calling her number two because
Hmm.
uh because obviously where she finished in Tough Enough, and also we thought she was shit. But no, it was only because she was a heel, not because we really felt that way. But she to me she had to me she is what they wanted Eva Marie to be.
Yeah,
Instead of
100%.
all red everything, it's all gold everything.
Mm-hmm.
But she has the wrestling ability that Eva didn't.
Well, I think she has the athletic ability, and she's working really hard to
She's
finesse it,
gotten
finesse
better.
it.
She's gotten way better in the ring because I've seen her like I said, I've seen her at how like NXT. I'm just gonna call them NXT house shows.
Yeah, for sure.
She's been through here and I've seen him improve. Same thing like I've seen a lot of characters like Elias. I've seen him improve a lot in his in ring ability, and then that's why I'm like, yo, he's been dope. We were Braun Strowman's first match in in Jacksonville. When he came here, he didn't have no fucking idea what he was doing. But anyway, no, with her, I've seen her improvement, and me personally, it's crazy to me that they want to push Lacey when I'm like, you got Mandy right there.
Mm-hmm. I can see that,
I'm
yeah.
like,
But like I said,
you
Ray,
got Mandy right
you got
there.
you got to have a heel. Lacey Evans is going to be so hated or loved.
Well, I
I
think
just think she's great.
it's two very different characters though. Like two very,
Hmm.
very different characters. Like Mandy Rose is the sultry goddess who has a different camera lens entirely, and she's just the blonde bombshell. Lacey Evans is like the classy lady who's a former Marine and a mother. Like two very different characters. They just both have to be like happen to be attractive blonde women. You know what I mean? Like they're two very different. But you can only have so many blonde women at the top of the roster for so long.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that is true. But yeah, so that happened, and then we had Ricochet defeating Eric Young. We haven't seen Eric Young for months, but good to see him take a L. And then at the end, we had Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy defeating the new, because we got to say the new Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe. Um, Only thing I got from this match is that, as I was speaking earlier about everything coming in full circle with Kofi and Randy, after a spot in the ring, you can hear Kofi yelling "stupid," which was the same thing that Randy Orton yelled to Kofi about 7 years ago. No, it was longer than that. It was a long time ago. When Kofi was supposed to stay down for the punt, but instead he got up and Randy Orton had to RKO him, and then he yelled "stupid," and that kind of killed Kofi's like main event run. I don't know if
Yep.
a lot of people remember that, but that was during the time when Randy.
Actually, I thought his main event run was where he scored with Vince.
Mm.
That's in Chris
Oh,
Jericho's book.
oh yeah. I heard about that. I didn't know if it was
He
true or not.
it apparently like Jericho's been on the money with shit that's happened back there, so I kind of believe what he
Yeah.
says. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like he said that he was in the back and like him and Vince, Kofi and Vince got into a huge argument, and Vince was like, well, pretty much saying, well, run up then. It was like one of those, and fucking got in Vince's face, and they were fight, but he wasn't
Mm.
gonna hit him. He wasn't gonna hit him.
Yeah.
He just said, well, get big. He was pretty much like, get big then. And after that, it was kind of like, all right, that's what I thought.
Mm. Well, I would love to see that. Fuck that. I would love to see that. I don't know. I think Vince McMahon needs to get beat up once anyway, especially for the shitty fucking shit we have to put up with over the years. So yeah, they won. It was announced that Kofi will take on the new Daniel Bryan at Fastlane for the title. Um, Great, but Oh man, now I just need to know where they're gonna put our man Mustafa Ali when he gets back into the fold. Because man, I want
Well, you
Kofi
got
to yeah.
Mustafa Ali would be perfect for U.S. title.
Mm-hmm.
And elevate that. Not saying that R-Truth couldn't do it,
Yeah,
but
no,
R-Truth
but
don't need that
yeah,
belt.
you don't need that
R-Truth
belt.
don't need that belt. Mustafa can win that belt, and if you're kind of wanting to put Mustafa in the main event picture, or you might make him upper mid card, you can have him win the Money in the Bank because we got July. I
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
mean, you got that, and it's like if they're literally gonna go with that Big E bullshit, then that's who it can go with. It's either going to be him or Kofi. You can even have him and Kofi like not team up, but you can even put them in the match to kind of have the number one contender because eventually it's going to have to go back onto a face,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's going to end up happening.
Yeah.
So, and what the rumor is that obviously Kofi's not going to win at Fastlane, but that Daniel Bryan's going to end up, or the new Daniel Bryan is going to end up facing Kevin Owens
Yeah.
at was going to end up facing Kevin Owens at Mania, which is I'm with. It sucks that it's not Kofi. At the same time, I'm like, it's WrestleMania, the WWE Championship, and it's gonna be pretty much they can pull out Ring of Honor shit at that point.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
see.
with
I
it.
don't know. I'm and not again because I was a Kevin Steen fan and not such a fan of Kevin Owens. Like I want to see Kofi. Like I want to see Kofi. It's not even like
Oh no,
even if Kevin
I'm with
Owens
you on
isn't
that.
on the table, I think that having Kofi have that Mania moment. Mania moments are what WrestleMania is so hyped up for. Like that's why that's a term because this is like career defining, career changing, life changing, epic moments. And there's not really a lot on the horizon, especially even though I love me the Queen, but even
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the way that they're doing that triple threat now, it kind of takes away from the importance of the women's women's match main eventing. I mean, you need like a huge Mania moment, and what would be better than watching Kofi Kingston, singles act, African American, been with the company forever, like taking it off of Daniel Bryan, who is like the heel of all heels right now. I mean, I
The
think it would be perfect.
the no. I'm with you on that. I'm just going like if they go with the Big E thing. However, what they could do is someone's supposed to be coming back off an injury, and you could also have instead of Big E costing him the match, you can have one Mr. Luke Harper cost Kofi the match.
That's
Thus,
what I
Mm.
yeah, thus
so
pushing New Day versus Recycled.
Recycle.
well, I've been kind of hearing things about like New Day on the line. If your brother's got you back all the time, then they won't mind. They'll be there for you no matter what. Blah blah blah. And so kind of dissolving New Day in that way if he loses
Mm-hmm.
at Fastlane. But
Mm-hmm.
that also Luke Harper is about ready to come back, and so who knows what's going to happen. I
Yep.
mean,
It's not like they
I
wanted to
just
break up the Bludgeon Brothers early. It's that they got hurt, so
mm,
they had nothing else to do. You could literally put him back with Daniel Bryan, and you even have that. And think about it like this: if they lose, if he loses, and they with him, you have, and you're wondering what Daniel Bryan's going to be up to, trying to get his title back. Bray Wyatt.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
that
Damn. Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah. Hell
You have
yeah.
that whole thing building up. Like you took something from me, I want back. Talking about those two.
Yeah. That's true.
You
Yeah.
build a whole fucking storyline from that. Um, on the flip side, and the thing that you mentioned too, Val, a lot of people are upset about the triple threat women's match. A part of me kind of already knows. Like, I'm not mad at it because I, even though in the back of my mind, they don't fully trust Ronda to
Yeah.
work that match the way that they need it to be worked,
Right.
especially if it was going to be a main event.
Well, I think that's why they're putting Charlotte out there because they know consistently they
Mm-hmm.
can get a match out of Charlotte no matter what.
Yeah, they can
So
get a match out of Charlotte and Becky, but then it's like Ronda's your wild card. So it's kind of
and she,
like
And she's also the main event name. I mean, she's the person that Lafayette, Louisiana is paying tickets to see.
Yep.
You know,
And it's a point to where you have that triple threat for a reason. So it's not, like I said, it's not, I get it. I'm not upset about it because people are like, no, this should be Becky's time. Dude, it can be. Especially if they main event WrestleMania. If they main event WrestleMania like the last match of the night, you can't take that away from any of them women at all. That's like all three of those women deserve that spot. They just one needs a little bit more help than the other two.
agreed.
You know,
that's why I'm not upset at the match being a triple threat. It's like, okay, we could have seen this coming, because if you're gonna have Becky versus Ronda, it's like, okay, what if something goes wrong?
Right.
Like they had that match. Something can literally go wrong, and it's like, that's cool if it's a smaller pay-per-view. It is not cool if it's their biggest.
Yeah, it's WrestleMania. Yeah, you're right.
Year.
And I mean, Charlotte can very easily take the pin, and it won't hurt Ronda, and it won't hurt Becky. But honestly, if Charlotte ends up winning, nobody's going to say that she doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, she'll be.
They might not like it.
Top hill. Yeah, she'll be so fucking hated.
Yeah.
They might not like it. That might not be the outcome they wanted, but you cannot say that woman doesn't deserve it.
Yeah,
no,
you know what I mean.
I'm always with the heel. I'm always more a fan of a heel having the belt than a face, unless it's like a bit like WrestleMania, like a big pay-per-view. Like, but I know, being smart as much as I am, if you have a heel win at the earlier night, the face is probably not going. If you have a heel win at the earlier night, or if you have a face win, the heel's probably not going to win at the end of the heel's going to win at the end of the night. So it's kind of like, what are we doing here? So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm okay with all three of them being in this match, because Ronda's going to need the help. It's not going to hurt Becky, because Becky can go stone cold on both of them. And Charlotte is the one, because let's be real here. They don't want the crowd to boo Ronda Rousey. No one legitimately wants that. You need a hit. Becky's not going to be the heel, because they're not going to boo. They're going to end up, you're either going to either cheer Becky, you're going to boo Ronda. No one's really going to cheer Ronda. You needed a heel. No one's gonna want to cheer Charlotte.
I mean, I will be cheering Charlotte forever and always. For life, Lady Mark for life.
I'm just
I know.
No, I'm just saying, it's just kind of, it's a triangle effect. You literally got to have a good guy and a bad guy. I'm very old school. You're not gonna have two faces go up against each other unless you're trying to do a double turn or a turn, which you're not going to have, because you're saying Ronda's on her way out. So no, she's not going to be booed anyway. She's not going to be booed anyway. And then if let's say that is Ronda's last match, what if she milks it?
Yeah, and we don't want another repeat of that, kind of like the Brock Goldberg shit.
Not saying Ronda,
oh God, no! Please no.
Not saying Ronda would do no shit like that, but you don't want to have that possibility.
Yeah. So that's we'll have to wait and see on that. I just looked at the time. We've been talking for like a shitload of time.
Like 2 hours.
Which is fine, but I know, like, people gotta, I gotta smoke more devil's lettuce and work on music. So I'm just gonna, I want to skip through this 205 Live, because even though people should be watching 205 Live, nobody watches it. It's just that it comes on at the wrong time. But we had the Humberto Carrillo guy defeat TJP, who mysteriously just came back to 205 Live with like 40 tattoos. So
it's Humberto Carrillo.
Carrillo. There we go. See, I'm learning. See, Val, that's what you're here for. You're here for that.
Thank you. Thank you, friend.
But yeah, TJP came back with a whole bunch of stick-on tattoos. Don't know where that came from. The younger Davari defeated Johnny Lyons. I'm pretty sure that was some enhancement talent. If not, my apologies. And then we had Cedric Alexander defeating a guy that wants to wrestle in NXT UK, Mike Kanellis. And that was 205 Live. And that's all I gotta say about that. So
cool. There's not much to say about NXT UK.
Do we gotta talk about NXT?
Well,
Let's
yeah,
just talk
we
about
do
the
actually.
let's just talk about the fact that it was. I mean, the main thing
Well,
here is.
hang on one sec. Hang on one sec though, because Toni Storm retained her title. That's really all you need to know about NXT UK. Rhea Ripley and her have a feud going on. Toni Storm retained. So there you go. That was a real quick recap of NXT UK. But go for it.
Oh, for NXT? Yeah. Shit. Oh, damn. See, kids, don't smoke marijuana. Wait until you're about 16 to do it. All right. So where I was at, yeah. So NXT, obviously we have the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic is returning March 6th. We saw Matt Riddle sit down with Jeremy Borash. A lot of people are not
Which is
familiar.
still crazy to me.
Yeah, it's
Same.
crazy.
Absolutely.
Seeing that. Definitely a TNA original, Bianca Belair did a video promo about how she is still undefeated, which she is not because she lost in the Mae Young Classic, but I'm gonna let it rock because she's black, so she is undefeated.
Black History Month.
Yes, and
she
was
also lost at Takeover.
She also lost.
Oh yeah, that's right too. Yeah. Oh yeah. To quote unquote Sharon Corbin, a joke that Mia Yim posted today. It was actually funny calling Babesler Sharon Corbin. I know Val wasn't feeling that, but yeah. So we had Aleister Black defeating Roderick Strong, I believe.
Yep, and a good match.
Yeah,
it was a really good match.
Mia Yim defeated oh my god, Z Lee. Xia Lee. And 3 out of 4 horsewomen came out and attacked, but I guess Mia Yim won, and that sets up the match between her and Sharon Corbin. Then we had
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler, I'm sorry. And then of course, if you was a real neckbeard, you knew the result of this next match anyway. Velveteen Dream defeats Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. Okay, Dream got a belt. I mean, I guess that's good for Black History Month.
And it was a really good match too.
It was a good match.
I really liked it.
Hell yeah, that was a good match. So that was pretty much NXT this week. Shit, we're in 3 different time zones.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Shaggy, it's about 1:00 your time.
Yep, I was supposed to go to bed an hour ago.
See, now I feel like a complete dickhead. Kind of.
Nah, you're good. It's wrestling. I will always sit here and talk wrestling. I don't give a shit. I will say this. I read something today. Now, granted, it's dirt sheets. You can take this or leave it, but I know this is actually the only reason why I'm even going to say anything about it. I'm going to keep it off because this is like Black History Month type of thing. But so where there's smoke, there may be a bit of fire. So Ronda's leaving. There's pretty much no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So they're actually talking about who's going to probably replace her. And a lot of people are talking, and rumor has it that they're really trying to push for Serena Williams.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that would be incredible, but I don't know.
I'm like, she has the body for it. She ain't going to have the training. And
right. This is where I'm concerned.
She's not gonna Ronda at least went through the training.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and MMA and professional wrestling are so very similar, so it's easily adaptable.
She had to learn not to kill nobody.
Right, exactly. But I mean, Serena is a goddamn goddess. I mean, I would absolutely love to see that, and I would support her fully. But I mean, that's just it's like I'm a beer vendor, and then you want me to all of a sudden, just because I'm a strong, badass woman, all of a sudden I'm just going to go and be like, I don't know, an iron worker just because I'm strong. You know what I mean? It's completely two different things. Like, I don't know. It just makes me nervous, and I don't want to ever see somebody so amazing falter, and people would shred her immediately.
Oh, man. I already know.
It would. You thought Ronda would have like a big backlash, man, if Serena would have did this? It's at this point the coverage would be insane,
Yeah.
but the coverage would be insane, but the fandom people would get pissed because it's like, yo, you're taking, because people were getting upset about it, and it was just dirt cheap rumor. People getting upset about her possibly getting. It's just like she's gonna be taken away from actual talents, people that you
Right.
need to push. And I'm like,
Right.
you know, those people are gonna get pushed regardless, right? And they're not gonna miss time. But however, unfortunately, just like the Ronda situation, and I hate to even say this, Ronda's a bigger name than all of those women that are wrestling right now.
Right.
You can go.
Yeah.
I can go. I can pull a person on the street. I can point to a picture of Ronda and say, "Who is that?" 9 times out of 10, they'll tell me she. The worst thing I'll hear is, "Ain't she the MMA lady?
Yeah.
The cage fighter lady?"
Mm-hmm.
I point to a picture of fucking
Serena?
nah, not even Serena. Because that's just proving the thing with Ronda. That's just proving the same thing with Ronda. No, I'll point to a picture of, I'll say Bailey. I say, who's this?
Well,
It's crickets.
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And
It's
they're not doing,
recognizable
and it's not.
face. Recognizable face
Yes,
like
it's
all over.
recognizable
Yeah.
faces, and you're just doing that to build your money and shit. And think about, if you fucking land her and you get her on fucking SmackDown with Fox.
Oh man. Oh. They will be in the money bags will be raining at in Stamford, Connecticut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's even if you get her just even fucking appear, holy shit, people are gonna be talking about it. This shit's gonna be on ESPN.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
gonna be on ESPN, Fox Sports News, all these other ones. It's gonna be crazy. You don't want, as wrestling fans, don't really care for it. We would think it's cool,
Yeah.
but you know what makes this makes it no different than when fucking LT fucking wrestled at WrestleMania, gets banned
Oh
on Big
yeah.
O.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Main
This is
event.
just this new. This is just this era's version of that.
And you know that's crazy is because the person that reported this, they've normally been right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
that's what's crazy.
yeah, they normally been right. Like they was the ones that broke the Gargano uh Champa reforming as DIY but all the way back in I think August.
yep,
So
yep.
yeah, so and the last thing I want to touch on because I just noticed, before we go off the air and go to sleep and do what we do, I've noticed that Goldust is no more. He's changed his Twitter name to Dustin Rhodes now. There's no WWE content in his bio anymore. There's no Goldust mention or anything like that. So, do we get Cody versus Dustin at Double or Nothing?
As cool. I'm hoping so, but I don't know if he's been released from his contract. He also said he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He actually said he's like, I just want to change my name. Like he's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean he said it himself in a tweet. He's like,
Yeah.
I just want to change my name.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm just going off of the last road to Double or Nothing where Brandy Rhodes has the
Are you still serious?
yeah, she's like, are you serious? And he's like, well,
We're
I
gonna
kind of
find
need
out.
somebody to fight. Yeah. I can't, at this point it has to be someone big, who Batista,
I
Dean
mean,
Ambrose, like
That's absolutely one of the rumors is that Batista was hanging out with Jericho the other day, and they were talking it up.
yeah, but I think
who knows?
you know what my thing is about that. I think it's Jericho just being a good friend. We know that Batista's in talks with WWE as well, so if he's talking with AEW again, they might throw Batista more money just for him not to go over there.
Oh yeah,
So I think
Mhm.
I think Jericho's just being a good buddy. Like, hey, let's take some pictures and let's fool them that you're coming over here, and they'll throw you like Drax money instead of Batista money. So yeah, I mean, I would like to see Cody versus Dustin. Fuck it. They were supposed to have that at WrestleMania anyway. They should have did it when they ran that angle, but never happened. Not even on the pre-show.
Crackpot Theory is only on
Yeah,
one fall, only scheduled for
yeah,
one
scheduled for
fall.
one fall. Shit. All right,
I'm
well,
tired and botched that.
no, it's all good. We're all tired. We're all spent. I am high as fuck. That's what my
Nigga, you in
reasoning
space.
is. Yes, I'm in space right now. I was gonna work on some
Val's in
rebalance.
Arizona. Can you
Yeah,
bring me
I am
back
in
in your three
Arizona.
hats?
she's in Arizona with
You want me to?
Malort.
I will. You let me know. Yeah,
Sweet.
I have a bottle of Malort. I'm good to go. I
Not
have
that.
to.
Not
No, I'll bring
keep
you a
that.
Malort.
No, please, Lord
Um,
Jesus.
Hey,
Actually, no. Let
Malort
me bring
coffee was not bad.
yeah, coffee
you.
Malort is delish.
I had it, and that was probably the only one that I could really tolerate. Shout out to
Look, man.
Nisei's Lounge as well.
I'm gonna just
Yeah,
say this on the
always.
Malort. I'm gonna just say this on the Malort tip. We this is you can get this off out of the record. I would like to say I am really like, and I'm a decent alcoholic. Never would I drink
Decent
something and
alcoholic.
wake up in the morning and be like, "What the fuck just hit me?" Like I was still in bed till 2, and that was like a normal bender. It was like I was back in, like I was a kid again.
Hold on, was that the night we had Malort, and then we went and we did your podcast the day after, or was that the following day? I don't
That
remember.
was
I
it
know we
was
got fucked
we
up
went
both
out. No,
days.
we went out that Friday when I got in. That was when we
Yeah,
left
that's
the
right.
chicken joint and we went out there, and then we
Yeah.
met with Val later on because we were
Mm-hmm.
already drinking before Val got there. Val gave us free Malort shots. They gave me two other fucking shots of, one shot of Malort and two shots of Jameson. Apparently I didn't pay for those. And I woke up the next morning going like, what the fuck did I drink?
Yeah, we were all
I
out.
just drank my normal that Malort fucked me up.
We was
You're welcome.
all we were
God damn
fucked
it,
up.
Val. You stay away from me in that
Yeah.
shit.
But yeah, so I think, we all got shit to do, like sleep. I gotta smoke more. And Val just has to relax her mind and get ready for, like I said, you're in Phoenix now.
Baseball season.
Yeah, baseball season. You gotta get
Lost
prepared for that.
baseball.
And I'm kind of sad,
The
I
bean.
used to go to that, and it's crazy because I've been to that park, Chase. I think it's Chase Park.
Chase
No,
Field.
Chase. Yeah, like I've been there, during my time when I was in Arizona, and it's crazy because I could have probably ran to Val a long time ago if I was drinking old style.
Well, no, I work at Sloan Park.
Sloan, that's what it's called. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Chase Field is where
Is the
Royal
big,
Rumble was,
yeah,
and that's
that's the big field. Yeah, I'm
that's where
tripping.
the Diamondbacks play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because I was a frequent in Mesa. I know a lot about Mesa and all the bashes and all the restaurants there and stuff like that. I like it there because it's like a mini Chicago, like literally. Um, and plus that was the only place that I know that I can still get frozen home run in pizzas at their bashes. So, but yeah, Shaggy, once again, thank you. I'm sorry for, bugging you and shit like that. But Val definitely wanted you on the show. She was
Hell
requesting
yeah.
like, hey,
Mhm.
like get
I did it
Shaggy
for
on the
her.
show.
Aw,
She's like,
thanks, baby.
get his ass on the show by any means necessary. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we can make it happen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this has been do we got one more show before Black History Month, or is it over with?
Nah, it's
It's done.
Wednesday. No, I want to say the first is Friday, so you might actually have one more
Yeah, we got
show.
one more show. I'm gonna try to reach out to Two Cold Scorpio. I got. You know
Shit.
what? If anything, before
Do it.
that, I need to get the N words on the show. I got to
Yeah.
because I need.
Tell him you're your son. Too cold Sagittarius.
That might work. I don't know. That might work. I got big ears like him, but not like him though. His ears is. Let me not talk about him because what if he goes back and listens to the show and see that I'm talking shit about him? But anyway, Val, always a pleasure. Shaggy, thank you for joining
Namaste,
on the show.
my nigga.
Go get some rest and all that stuff.
Go get some alert free sleep.
Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
think I will too. And that is a wrap. with him.